Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me from a remote, undisclosed location somewhere across from the River Styx, he's my co-host, he's Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for another week. I hope you guys and girls are keeping safe and well.
Oh, yes. Dangerous world at the moment.
Thanks for Scary Boy, and thanks for coming on along on another listening adventure, you new listeners and repeat offenders.
Repeat offenders.
Got something a bit different for you this week.
We have.
We're going to be looking at some of the places around the world that have been given a bit of a reputation as entrances to the netherworld.
Ooh.
Doorways to hell.
Ooh,
well, there's lots of holes, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of holes, I'd wager.
Yeah.
I reckon so. It's good. Do you know what, though? Because it's been really funny because, like, over the last couple of months, there's been a lot of different sort of subterranean things coming into even to other topics we've been talking about. So, you know,
totally.
Made me kind of pique an interest as into why, you know, these kind of legends and myths spring up. But also, is there any truth into it? I mean, is the kind of, I mean, we don't know anything about what's below the crust of the earth. And,
that's
you know, you know, you can go the doorway to hell and all the rest of it. But we want to get down to the bottom. What's actually try and find out what's going on here. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I say, looking into this, we found a lot of examples. So make sure you stick around for that. But before that, what have you been up to this week, mate?
Me, not a lot. Just to be honest, I've been watching Dog. The
bounty hunter.
Yeah, the bounty hunter. Yeah, because he's had a lot of problems over the last couple of years.
I have heard that he was like, didn't his son take over? I don't watch Dog the Bounty Hunter, to be honest.
No.
I'm aware of him. I'm aware of Dog.
I've seen a program the other day. Well, it's a channel and it's all about him, basically. It's all, you know, his captures and stuff like that. But over the last couple of years, like his missus has just passed away. Then there was stories about him, a mate like getting involved, you know, with him when he wasn't, and now he's got someone else. But he seems happier now than what he was. I mean, he looked a broken man, proper. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I was watching the storyline basically of what he's been going on the last couple of months.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so it's just been kind of like fascinated with a bit of Dog the Bounty Hunter this week.
Yeah, to be honest.
Fair enough, can't argue with that. Lockdown restrictions. Well, yeah, I've been quite busy. Say quite busy. Lockdown restrictions have been lifted in the UK slightly, which is good. Means people can go out and socialise, see friends and family again a little bit more. Is it like kind of 6 people in a park? You're allowed.
I believe so.
So you can have a picnic.
Two households, I think.
2 households can meet up and stuff. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's better than what it was, isn't it? You know what I mean?
There's been a lot of crazy news in the week we're going to be discussing a bit later on. One particular one that sprung to my mind was this blockage of the ship canal in the Suez. How crazy was that? We'll be talking a bit about that in a bit, because we found some other bits that have just kind of made it even more of a joke. But yeah, as we started recording, they freed it. Or they freed it sometime this afternoon, hadn't they? So yeah,
they did,
that makes, you know, they were saying it could potentially be a week. So that's sort of good.
Yeah, so they've cleared a week then, haven't they? They've done it over about 4 days, is it?
Yeah, they've done all right. I think they've done a good job, to be honest. Clocks went back or forward, was it? It always confuses the shit out of me.
Went forward, yeah.
Makes
2
me
o'clock on Sunday morning.
A bit like, what the hell's going on? A little bit.
Melon.
Other than that, I've just been, do you know what? There's been a lot of spring cleaning this week, and obviously stuff like that, trying to just get me stuff in order, get me life in order. Do you know what I mean? So other than that, have you just been hiding in your house watching Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah, doing that, and like I've got courses I've been doing and stuff like this. So
see, that's way more interesting than. Say, what have you been up to this week? I've got loads going on, but. Dog the Bounty Hunter was on. I watched that.
This situation, I thought I'd do a couple of courses, like I'm doing a business one at the minute. It's nearly finished. And I'm going to try and do something with that. And I'm also looking into other event courses and stuff like that and see, a bit more knowledge in the old brain,
You can't knock having a bit more knowledge in the old brain, can you?
Might as well. I've got the time.
Exactly. This is it. I always said that. I mean, like, I kind of went with the first lockdown. I was all like, right, I want to kind of try and learn a new skill or try and learn something big. And it was like, do you know when you kind of always say, I'd love to do that, but I just haven't got the time? Then there's no excuse. But there's still a couple of things that I still haven't got round to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you've got the time.
It's one of them, innit? Well, no, you get lazy, don't you, I think, in these situations.
True.
But
I have on my fitness, I must admit, on that one.
I know, yeah, because he used to be an all-star athlete. He was doing 5-mile runs before breakfast, and now he's like, turned into a right lazy sack of potatoes.
Right, cabbage, mate. Yeah,
he's like a chip.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. He said it. What's it? We've also got something pretty cool coming up. We've got some new merch, which is coming very, very soon. We've seen the design; it's absolutely awesome. Which is going to be a limited edition, I'd say.
Yeah.
So, So we're letting you know as soon as it goes up. We will let you know, and we all want one of these. So make sure you check it out. I'm sure we'll be pushing it in your faces. Going, get the t-shirts.
Well, it's limited, you know what I mean? There's only going to be so much.
Well, that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. So, last week, we did a rollover on Chain Connections. Chain Connections game we play, if you don't know, where we give you a bunch of clues and you can kind of try and work out what Mr. Taylor's talking about. We had some answers this week for Chain Connections. Several people said, is it air?
Well, technically, yes and no.
Oh, you see, I had trouble with this one. We've had other guesses of money, drugs, and even water.
Yeah.
So, but there is a winner this week, and the winner of our Smarty Pants of the week goes to Laura from Edinburgh, who got it spot on, and the answer was energy. Yeah. So, well done, exactly. Laura. No one likes a smart ass, Laura.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we've got some brains up there in Scotland.
Smart ass. It's funny, though, because he was like, we have, haven't we? We've had a few right-hand people messaging us from Scotland, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and that. Still have our reigning champion, Harriet, who's hat-trick winner. If you think you can do get in quick, first right answer wins. We've got some more clues for you this week. And here to deliver them is Mr. Taylor. So pay attention.
Yes.
And you could join our Smarty Pantsies in the Smarty Pantsy Club, I suppose.
Yeah. We might do a badge or something.
A chufty badge.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You get a free chufty badge if you. Well, we don't have chufty badges or the means to make them.
No.
You'll get you get like a chufty badge of the mind.
Yes, that's a good way actually.
And it'll get thinking. And it'll get you in anywhere you want to get into for free.
Yeah. In your mind.
Anywhere you want to go in your mind, you'll get in
your
there
imagination.
For free. Just like a Blue Peter badge, but better.
Yeah. 10 times better than that. Yeah.
So. We're rambling. Moving on. What's first clue this week, Mr. Taylor?
First clue is this is in CERN complex.
Ooh.
This is in the CERN complex.
It's in the complex.
It is in the complex.
See, I think because I feel like you're right. Okay. Yeah, go on.
What's in CERN?
Yeah, but are you trying to bamboozle me? So go on. What's the second clue?
Second clue is it first started up September 10th, 2008.
Okay, I think I know what this is.
But
Right.
do you? Could I bamboos in you?
You've bamboozer. Go on.
Bamboozle.
He's a bamboozy, man. He's trying to bamboozle us.
And we've got a third one, which I believe is
third clue.
a sound.
Oh, right, yeah, shit. Is this the sound that you made me put on the thing?
Yes,
Right,
it is.
okay.
Indeed.
Let me just turn down these music.
Okay.
Right, so I have no idea what this is. He just said, put this on. So,
Bam.
yeah. Right, okay.
It's good, isn't it?
Sounds like,
And that's the
I don't know,
original
is that
sound.
sound you're letting a balloon off or something? Like, I don't know. What? Let me hear that again. It's almost like a piston at the start. Like, it's like a piston firing or something.
Yeah. And then something happens and then it just goes bigger.
Nah, because it's got like a bijou. It's got like a lasery sound. Oh, right. If you know what that is and you know what Mr. Taylor's talking about, then let us know. Send us your answers. Right or wrong. Don't be shy. You might get a shout out next week. Before we move on to our main topic, which is actually, I know we've been rambling on, but we've got some really cool stuff to talk about tonight. Yeah. But before we get into all that, this episode is brought to you in part by Audible. You can get yourself an Audible trial. It's a great way for customers to try audiobooks and make the most of every moment. With your trial, you will receive one free audiobook of your choice to keep, even if you cancel. And Prime membership customers get 2. The choice is great. You've got world-leading authors as well as talent reading them. You can get stuff from biographies, sci-fi, romance, mysteries, classics, and a lot more. You get 30 days free trial, receive one book every month just for $7.99, and you can cancel any time. So there you go. Get over to the link in the description. Helps us out, and you can get some really cool books. I need to get my next book, to be honest. I've got a token to use. Any recommendations, let me know. Because they've got quite a lot of stuff there, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking, because I was doing the research into tonight's show, and I was thinking about maybe getting Dante's Divine Comedy and just have it read to me. Do you know what I mean? Might be pretty good.
Why not?
Well, like I say,
you might as well.
We'll get into that actually if you don't know what it is, because that's quite interesting in itself. But since we've been talking about entrances and underground subterranean realms recently, here and there, we thought that we'd have a closer look and see some of the sites around the world that have been given the reputation for being entrances to the netherworld. Recently talked about the Tarashima Hole. And we also talked about like the idea of hollow earths as well recently as well, haven't we? So it kind of
it's a lot of holes.
It's a lot of holes, but are they plot holes? Is what I want to know.
Yes.
So obviously, when you start researching things like the concept of the devil's doorway or the entrances to hell, it's find quite well. It's funny because he's like I remember looking into this a while back, and you write that sort of stuff in to Google and you'd find quite a lot, but there's been a movie recently called The Devil's Doorway.
All right.
And
yes
and it's kind of like every time you Google it, that's what comes up. But
yes, it's an old movie that was banned in the 52 years ago, I believe it was banned by the church. The church banned it.
Because it's supposed to be like one of those Blair Witch found footage sort of films, isn't it?
Like Exorcist.
Yeah, but The Exorcist not found footage, but it's supposed to be kind of like...
but the storyline sort of
played out like a true story, like if you like. One story I found, what came up a few times was, and it's come up a couple of times during the time we've been doing the podcast, which is the Devil's Tree. But as far back as storytelling or the concept of like good and evil and bad and the dark side has always been prevalent, and it's the idea of an afterlife raises questions to where the bad people go? What is there a hell? You know what I mean? If there is an afterlife and there's a heaven, then it stands to reason that there must be a place for the bad people as well. And this has created this ideology or this sort of like idea of what hell is and looks like and smells like and what goes on there. Do you know? And we all seem to have similar ideas. You know, the Divine Comedy is obviously it's a long Italian narrative poem by Dante, and it describes hell, doesn't it? The poem's actually about him, and he meets Virgil, who guides him through the 9 stages of hell, and the Inferno depicts the cruel sort of underworld where figures are being tortured depending on what they've done to kind of in terms of what they've punishment. So if they've kind of committed more or one of the deadly sins, they go further down into the to the 9 realms, if you like. So there is a depiction of like what hell is and what these sort of this realm is and what goes on and what kind of you can expect to find there and the reasons why you'd get there or be there.
But it's the weirder thing I found was that like all religions have one of these.
That's what I mean. We've all seem to have even this idea of an afterlife, but like a negative side of it, if you like. There's got to be punishment if you have great. Yeah, exactly. You can't. Well, we can't send murderers and rapists and thieves to heaven because that's supposed to be the prize, isn't it? At the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, and this is supposed to be like the battleground between good and evil.
What
the good
this play?
Go down. Yeah, but then again, I've heard it as this is hell itself.
Purgatory.
Yeah, we're already here, you know.
Probably. We were talking about that with Keith. Was it? Ken last week. Was it?
Yeah.
And it was Ken, wasn't it? Carl. Sorry, Carl last week, and he was talking about kind of like how it could be a reincarnation of some description where you if you don't learn the lesson, you go back to the start and you live here on Earth until you've kind of enlightened and then move on. It could be, but I mean, in that respect, then you'd hope that at some point everyone would learn the lesson and everybody would get to the good place. Yeah.
Well,
do you know, but if you didn't learn your lesson, you just keep going round and round, and therefore wouldn't be a need for a hell.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, how far do you go, and who are you to judge which creature, animal?
Well, you keep murdering people. You just keep going round, and that's it. Do you know until the point? There must be a cut-off point where they go, "Oh, he's been round 8 times,
round like 50 million times.
He's never going to change, this kid."
Let's get him up. Yeah, but then that questions where does he go? How do you stop that from carrying on?
Well, this is
a dead end at that.
This is when you go into hell, baby. So, I'd say, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? Because it's like, I'm not a big kind of believer in like the afterlife like that. Do you know, like angels and demons and stuff like that? Not to say that, it's funny because
there's something there, but it's not exactly what. I don't think it's exactly what's been.
You could argue
portrayed.
maybe that like demons could be reptilians, living subterraneously. But then you've also got your Nordics that are a bit kind of like your druids, all flowing and kind of long blonde hair and like really kind of all speaking Latin at you, and then you're thinking, oh, he's very angel-y, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? And it could be just a misinterpretation. I mean, who knows? But, like you say, every religion's got this sort of depiction of both sides of the afterlife. I mean, going back to, like, Dante's Inferno. So, like I say, Dante and Virgil enter hell and explore the 9 circles of hell, observing punishment, suffering, suffered by various categories of sinners. On the entrance Yeah, so there's this line here. So the entrance to hell is marked with a grim message. Though me you pass into the grievous city, though me you pass into eternal pain, though me you pass among the lost people, abandon all hope, you who enter here. Yeah, and this was the message that was on the entrance. Yeah.
So he's giving you a choice before you actually do what you're planning on doing.
So, you know, I mean, you might not be shocked to discover, like, obviously, like, there are several places on Earth, places that are steeped in myth and legend and said to be real doorways to hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if any of them have been, you know, so blatant, like they've put these messages or, like, you know, Virgil, like, you know, like the Inferno, but...
I think it's more the secrecy, and I also found that on a few of them that the church has put their nose in quite a number of times to push the people from actually being around that area, if you know what I mean, and stopping and doing the worshipping or whatever they were chanting or whatever they were doing.
Well, where would you find... I mean, even in today, I mean, would you not think that if there were entrances to these sort of realms that they'd be available and accessible, or we might have found them?
They'd be difficult.
You don't think?
Do you think they'd be difficult to find? I don't think it's going to be a hole in the ground where you go, oh, bang, let's go down them stairs.
We've got a load of examples here, right? And we'll go through them. There's quite a lot from all different types of places and all around the world, right? But let me just kind of pick your brains for a minute, So say if what conjures up in your head if you say gates of hell, the devil's doorway,
a gap within the earth where like you were forewarned before you pass, and it would have to be continuously going on and on, because it's not exactly like it's 100 feet down. It would be a lot longer.
I mean, it just depends out on what
I would suspect.
How do you know it's
thousands of feet down
magical?
Instead of hundreds?
I mean, like in terms of the devil's door,
into a wormhole or something that brings you straight into, I don't know, another planet that's actually
or another realm
like
or something. I mean, in churches in England, basically, these the devil's doors are situated, and they're a feature of the northern wall of most medieval churches here in the UK. They're particularly common in Sussex, and they reckon there's about 40 churches in the UK to have them. The origins are from early Christianity and like pre-Christian worship, so basically pagan. And
there are a lot of witches around there as well.
Yeah, Sussex. Down that end. Definitely. So what they do is they build these doorways, sometimes just like artistic. You know, there's nothing there. It's not a real doorway. It's just more of a monument. And it was said that the north side of all the churches was owned and belonged to the devil. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was his entrance, therefore the devil's doorway. So but now a lot of churches use them as proper like entrances or whatever, or the tradesman's entrance, if you like. But
that just reminds me of a number of places that I've been, and you've got doorways all over the place, and then you've got on one side quite a few of them that are all blocked up, and it's like, hold on, why they blocked this up? Well, there's nothing behind it. There's no reason for blocking it up, but that gives a reason for blocking it up, to be honest.
Well, like I say, later on they became more common purpose, but especially in Sussex. But it was said it was allow the devil to escape from the church. A widespread belief in the Middle Ages held that the devil resided in abandoned churches and basically went for children's souls at the baptisms.
Okay.
So basically, in the probably hidden around the area, and then went through the door to get the soul.
I think it'd be something
like the clergy had put an easy a bat cave entrance on the back of the church for the devil to sneak in. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly, and it's blocked. Why would it?
See, you know what I'm saying?
As soon as it goes all...
Does it need to be? It doesn't matter if it's blocked, really, does it? If it's you've got supernatural powers. Of some description
or whatever.
So I mean, in the UK, we've got quite a the 40 churches that supposedly have like devil's doorways, but that's the devil's doorway to get in. We're talking about getting into getting into the realms, man. If that's just an easy entrance for him to get into a church, or for Satan to get into a church, then that's just the devil.
I'm just thinking, well,
it's like you can't choose that entrance. That's the devil's doorway.
If you want to go hell, just take the easy route. Right, I'll do a massive crime. I'll be a bastard for a day or two, and then I'll stop myself. Right, bang, there you go.
Well, you don't even have to do that. Suicide's is
you have to go hell anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why? Well, that's just overkill, then, isn't it? Going out and doing a crime first.
You know what I mean?
It's like, why do you need? Well, right. No, the suicide. So what you're saying is you want to go out suicide by cop.
well,
he's like, I'll go out and do a big crime, so I get gunned down by the law.
You would. If I don't want to go there, but imagine if someone does, I'd imagine they would think of going out and doing stuff to double make sure that I get down there. If it's a hell-worthy
trespass anyway, why bother? It's too much effort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then it'd be the last effort you'd be ever fucking doing.
Do it tomorrow. Do it on the night. It'll be real.
Well, yeah.
But again, like you say, so like, I mean, have you found any in the UK? You said there's one near your house, isn't there? A devil's doorway.
Yeah, apparently it's brand new. Apparently,
brand new. Yeah, they just built it.
New.
Yeah, they just built it. It's entrance to hell. You can get express train. It's really convenient. Yeah, they've even got a buffet cart.
Yeah.
A brand new entrance to hell. Go on then.
Yeah, Nottingham, between the borders of Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire.
Right.
2019, they found a symbol, a witch's symbol, on a limestone entrance into the ground.
Oh, okay.
So they've categorised it. That it's a
devil's hole.
It's a devil's hole, basically.
A witch's hole.
But I have to question it, and the question I'd like to know is why are they saying it's this, that, and the other when they have not even explored it yet? No one's gone in there and
There's no one gone in?
I'm gone. Yeah, no one's put a torch in there and gone, ooh,
well, it's like that last week where they found a tunnel.
So
that was another reason that there was someone who found a tunnel in Germany in the back garden.
Yeah,
and it's not on any ordnance survey maps. And it's like, well, there's obviously working's been going on. Somebody made this tunnel. Yeah, where does it lead? And they'd be like, well, we haven't been in yet. It's like, well, go in then. Where are all the Indiana Joneses of this world? Are they all pussies or what?
Well, this is it. I mean, the world. There's plenty still to see about the world, especially under the sea. So come on, get the exploring if you can.
Well, I reckon there's still more to find.
And there's going to be shit. We know fuck all, really. We know fuck all. We think we know it all, and we know fuck all, really.
Have you heard about this entrance? This is a so-called entrance to hell, which is, it's really, it sounds laughable, just say, St. Patrick's Purgatory, and this is in Longderg in which is a Loch Derg, which is a lake in County Donegal, Ireland, and it's basically a small green, and a bit of a picturesque spot of land, and with lovely vistas, and nice area to kind of sit and chill or whatever. But the legend of St. Patrick's says that he was visited by Jesus, on the island, and he was led to the place where there was a portal to hell. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He saw a vision, and he said he saw those of being brutally punished and tortured, and then he said basically these sort of like images and like this this vision was seen by Saint Patrick, and it made him feel really uncomfortable and all the rest of it, and he kind of relayed this back, but it was to this point on the island where Jesus led him, and he had this vision. So it's always been seen as like an entrance to hell because it was like this spot where he took him to see it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I imagine you had a really weird experience in this field. You'd be like, I'm not going back in that field. You know, or you'd feel like that was a hot spot or somewhere that was channeled. Do you know what I mean? I'd assume so anyway, but like obviously this area is still today known. It's still a monastery site, so you know.
Oh right, really?
Yeah. So it's got a bit of a kind of a history. So
that's meant that. And there's been kind of I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe there's been proof that Jesus did come to England and Ireland and places like that.
Wow. That's what I'm saying. He met St. Patrick and supposedly, give him like give him a bit of a fucking vision. Said, look, you best tell everyone here, this is what you're getting if you don't behave.
Oh, now that makes me understand why the Irish like a good old drink. I ain't going there, mate.
I ain't going in down there.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Have you found any others? Because I found a couple, right? I mean, I found a fair few. But there was one here. Here's an interesting one. Yeah, right. And this is in Pennsylvania. Yeah, in the United States.
As well.
Oh, have you? It might be. I don't know if
Europe,
this is
my one.
This one's quite a relatively new one. Again, so, but like you were saying, there's a couple of legends in Pennsylvania, right? Two of them, in fact, that basically say that there are 7 gates to hell located in the area. Both legends agree that the 7 gates to hell are located in a wooded area, and that if anybody passes through all 7, they'll go straight down to hell and see Hades himself.
Oh, I wonder if anyone's tried it.
I'm not sure. I'm assuming that there's like 7 like sort of tunnels or 7 bridges or something like that in the Pennsylvania area. I think is it Helms Township where the gates can be found in the woods. Was founded in 1793, and the legend has it that an old insane asylum burnt down there, and all the crazies escaped. Sounds like a Stephen King novel.
These frighteners that like you put stories to a bad area, and it makes it more it gives it a bit more history.
Well, they say that these crazies haunt the gates, and to this day, and the story also says that no one has ever been through the 5th gate and returned to tell the tale.
Oh, right, so someone must have tried to go through the 5th gate and hasn't returned.
Well, maybe, but it's these 7. So they're not even coming back after the 5th, mate.
So forget that, mate. Yeah, he was alive from the start.
And obviously Pennsylvania sounds quite a lot like Transylvania as well. So that's you know what I mean. Trying to lay on the creeper.
It's creepy, all right. Oh, but there's loads of them, though. I'm surprised. I mean, there's even places where they don't call it like devil's holes or pits or whatever, but you're not allowed to go into, or it's had one of these things of it's a dangerous area to even contemplate and go in.
Well, this is the thing, because I think a lot of this, I mean, we've just been laughing there saying these are new, we found a doorway or an entrance or whatever, but when you're talking about like geological events, like where you've got stuff. These, what is it? The Darvaza? Is it? My pronunciation's terrible, but the Vaza crater in Turkmenistan, right?
Yeah,
and it's literally a fuck off hole in the ground, right? But it's almost like because it's filled with natural gases and stuff like that. I think back in the 1970s. They basically set it on fire, right, to see what had happened, and it's been burning for 45 years, right. So there's a massive big hole in the ground which is on fire, If you were to look at it, you'd go, that goes to hell. That shit does. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I've seen a picture of this. Yes, funny enough,
I think it spans about 230 feet across. It's dubbed one of the creepiest places on Earth, and it attracts thousands of tourists every year.
And it's to do with the carbon monoxide underneath, because I've got one.
It's funny that, actually. Yeah, go for it, yeah, because I've got one as well, which is
Pennsylvania.
Similar. Oh, right, you said you had one about Pennsylvania. Go on.
Yeah, it's called the Town on Fire, and it's a town that's been there since the 18th century, but it's been burning, basically, since the 1960s.
Right, okay.
Because there's a lot of mining that went going on around there, and there was a lot of wealth going on around 1940s to the 1960s. But then this is what they believed had happened, is someone had gone into the tunnels and they'd been burning rubbish, just there's an area there, no one goes there, let's burn the rubbish, and they must have hit some gases and it burned up. But it's continued to burn up even till now, and they reckon it's going to burn 250 50 years until it runs out, because it turns out there's loads of carbon monoxide.
It's like the Springfield
underneath.
Tyre Yard fire, isn't it? Like, fucking hell.
But no one can live there. Last person lived there was 1981. Everyone just get out of there, just go. But it is a creepy, like, little area, but it's supposed to be as well hotter than mercury underneath. It is supposed to be absolutely steaming under there.
Yeah. So it's super
itself.
hot.
Yeah.
You see, this one's come up a couple of times, which I find really interesting. Pluto's Gate. Yeah. Now, there's a couple of different photographs and different angles, and I mean, there's a couple. In fact, there's one. They call it something very similar, but I wasn't sure if it was the same.
Same one, yeah. I know
because it's both. It's in Turkey. Is it the Polosian or the Polosian? Yeah, which is in Turkey, right? And then Pluto's Gate.
Greece, isn't it?
So wait, this one's in Greece, is it? No, so this is
no. The other one was in Greece. I think the other one that you're talking about is in Greece. It's got the same.
No. Pluto's Gate is in the southwest region of Turkey. Yeah, and it's like Greco. Yeah, so I think it is the same place, because it's in like Greco-Roman pilgrimages site. So apparently this got a reputation for being a gate of hell, because they would actually take, like, basically if you stepped in there, it'd kill you. Yeah, right.
They had priests who did it all day, every day.
Yeah, but the priests never got affected by it for some reason. Yeah, right. Nobody could understand why that was, which obviously added a bit more credence to the whole spooky aspect of it. But like, they'd take animals in, and as soon as like birds would fly by or whatever, they just drop dead.
Yeah, even to this day.
Obviously, it got a big reputation for being a gate or an entrance to hell, if you like.
Yeah, because it was actually just about to be knocked out of history books, because they didn't actually believe it exists. But then, just before they were just about to do it, bang, they found it. It was right in front of them all the time.
Well, it's also known for having like hot springs around as well, which obviously suggests it has some sort of geothermic sort of thing going on underneath the area. Yeah, definitely. So, and obviously, the ancient Greeks carved out around it a temple and stuff like that and made it look all snazzy. Yeah. But obviously, they've done a bit of research into it and worked out that it was like high concentrates of gas that was coming up from below, and obviously that's what was killing people. Yeah, not some sort of devil's work, divine or sort of. So yeah, exactly. It wasn't some sort of like only the worthy can step foot in here. But I wonder what it was about the priests. Was it something they were wearing, or the dress, or like something
I think it's to do with windage. I think there's because even like today, if a bird goes near the ground, they generally don't come back up, but they can. There is birds around there. You know what I mean? It's a case of if you're deep into it, then you're more likely to die. But if you're just taking bits and bits all the time, I suppose, then you're going to end up getting sort of immune to it, and every day is going to be the same day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of same thing.
Any
them
more
same feelings.
You found like gateways to hell, or I'm on a highway to hell? In fact, I've got one that we'll talk about in a minute, which is quite prevalent at the minute. Quite. It's actually in the news right now. But go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Clifton, New Jersey.
Oh right, okay, New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah.
Has it got any connections to the Jersey Devil, I wonder?
Well, it depends if someone's opened a door or not. Because the rumours go that there's a storm drain around there, and it's got...
we had one of them, Witch's Tunnel.
Yeah.
It was always like some sort of sewage pipe or something like that.
There's loads of like symbolism all over the place, and there are actually... I can't work why this happens. You've got loads of doorways.
Right.
And it's said one of the doors you can't open unless you've got superhuman strength and powers to open that door, and it will lead you all the way to the devil.
Supposedly, I'll keep that one shut then, thanks.
Well, that's it. It's like, well, I can't get in anyway.
I know, yeah. Well, I could,
Explosives,
with
bang, there you go, the C4.
So what? Yeah, because I've heard about this. Was the treasure behind all the other doors? But it was like there was supposed to be more treasure behind the other door, but you can't get through it.
That's the Indian one.
Oh,
that's
right,
the Indian
okay.
Temple. Yeah.
So what is it with all these doors, man? Why is this carrying on across like all these myths? That there's sort of door. I found, interestingly enough, this really bizarre website while I was doing the research to this. And it is literally called, where is it?
Was it? It's called,
No. It is called entrancestotehell.co.uk. Yeah, right. And check it out, man. It's so weird, right? And it's so lo-fi, the website. It's super old school. And it's literally it's a photo album of all these different doors and the reasons why, and the history behind why it has a connection to hell and all the rest of it. So for instance, I'll just click on one at random and just see what it says. Yes. So this one's in Bilston in the West Midlands. So Fairborough is one of the so-called unhygienic entrances which only used for bringing plagues through. In this case, scientists in America have found, and the doctors in Europe agree that the plague portals have only been around for a short period and have been used and then rusted shut. And then, literally, exactly, yeah, right? And then, so that's just an excerpt about this one doorway. Yeah, right.
That's mad.
But then, there's loads more, and each doorway is a little bit of history behind where it is and why it's got a connection to. But you can't legitimize any of them because it's literally just the weirdest little website. Check it out. It's called entrancestotehell.co.uk. Yeah, no
Sounds
idea.
Good, that.
Yeah, but do have a look
at that.
So go for it. The Indian one.
Oh, the Indian temple. Oh, fuck me. Oh. I heard about this a long time ago, and it was right. Basically, it was a temple that was supposed to be for Visha. I think it is the goddess of destruction.
Vishnu.
And yeah. And there is. There's a few doors there. Now, over the time, doors have been opened, but it's always said that never to open the sixth door.
Right, okay.
The sixth door adds two snakes at the side of it, and actually people have tried to open it and they can't open it. And it is said that there is 22 billion pounds worth of jewellery, gold,
Get it open.
rubies. Yeah. Well, there's over 200 guards on that door alone, and it's been around for a long time. And the temple is weird looking as well. It's like
they always are a bit.
You've got like 5 levels, but every level it gets smaller into like a pyramid kind of thing, and it's got like not gargoyles but like sort of guards around it. And it said if the door was ever open, then that is supposed to be another Pandora's box for evil and everything to come out and spread. So the government have taken it seriously, like the religions.
Like you do. Yeah, of course
and
you do.
Basically,
seal it up, boys.
Yeah,
it was like the Hiroshima Hole, and it's like when you think about it and you get these warnings, and it's like, well, do we take them seriously, or do we just, just to be safe, concrete?
Well, safety's first. It's got to be the first priority.
Well, you don't want to be known as the country that unleashed whatever on the world. Do you know what I mean?
You don't want to be known like China. You know what I mean?
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but yeah.
No, but everyone's thinking it, so I might as well say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to be like China. No.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I'm not on about the people. I'm on about the government.
Yes. You won't find any of that round here.
Yeah.
But,
investigations are still on.
Yeah.
But, there's loads. There's loads of doorways. Have you seen this? I can't remember the name of it, but there's a one that happened in Russia last 50 years. Basically, the ground collapsed and it's melting everything.
Sinkholes, man. Sinkholes happen all the time. What's going on there?
That one seems to be, and it's got loads of gas enough. And you'll find as well that, especially with global warming, you're going to get pockets of carbon dioxide and
heating
stuff
up,
like that.
Yeah,
that will seep through.
What a kind of escape, I'm assuming, yeah. Well, look at it. You're bang on. And we've already seen quite a lot of kind of activity on the planet recently, haven't we, in terms of
Definitely.
Effects.
And these might be like jokey areas, we're talking about jokey areas, but they will have a serious consequence either way. In one factor or another.
Hekla? Is obviously one of Iceland's most active volcanoes. It's active at the moment. We've got a couple of news stories on it actually coming up. But obviously, the first ever recorded eruption was in 1104, and travelers and locals alike take to the area to have a look at it and check what's going on. It's gained the nickname Gateway to Hell. Obviously, birds flying nearby were thought to basically be souls swooping into the gateway. From a distance, they could say that that's what it looked like.
Isn't there a bit to the Bible with that as well?
Maybe, yeah.
Judas, apparently Judas had gone there, and that's the entrance he went into to go to hell, apparently. Right. So.
Because there's also another rumour that witches go there to meet the devil. But back in the Middle Ages, bishops and priests around Europe used the mountain peak as a basic... the mountain peak fable as proof that Satan was dwelling beneath their feet.
Yeah, but they didn't have the correct ideas either on that case. And
but it's good iconography, isn't it? It's like you say, look at this. This is it. It's photographic proof. Or if you get a photo of that and you go to your parishioners, you want proof of hell, do you? Look at this. They're going to go, what the fuck?
Even drag them there and say, right, follow me here. Look at this. This is hell. You're going there if you do this, this, and this, and this.
Well, like I say, since people have settled, in Iceland, it's erupted over 20 times. And obviously, probably more than that now, like I say.
I would have thought so. I reckon again soon.
But obviously, it's one of them, isn't it? It's like we talk about Yellowstone and, but... In terms of what, you expect and how your mind conjures up, lakes of fire and, it's more you kind of what your head goes to. It's more hell on earth, that, isn't it? Yeah. And it's like you see these things like, eruptions and
And we got a sort of kind of thing about fire as well. Humans have a kind of addiction to, like when the
fire.
magma's coming out and stuff like that. I mean, it glows, it looks beautiful, but it's deadly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do seem to have a kind of psyche, kind of like, you know what? You can people have stood there and just watched it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, it has that kind of spooky kind of, kind of grip.
Yeah.
So it sort of makes it goes into your psyche a little bit.
Well, I just think it's like all that lava and kind of like hot ash and
especially when it's going in the
steam
water.
And fucking it's the atmosphere that you kind of put into that sort of that's the way I'd assume it is. So there you go.
But there are doorways that don't actually need heat or anything like that. Like the one in Peru.
I reckon the hell's just like an Apple shop.
An Apple shop?
Like the Apple bar, like the Apple Genius bar, like it'll be all like
you walk in straight away, you're like
you walk in and walk straight back out.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, there was, have you seen this one? This one's quite interesting actually, if you like all your Greek mythology and stuff like the Caves of Sibyl.
Oh,
these were supposed to be like got a reputation for being a potential portal to hell. The ancient Greek mythology goes into like Sibyl. A Sibyl was a female prophet, protector of temples and gods, and stuff like that. Yeah. So basically, Sibyl was supposedly have made a bargain with the god Apollo to be granted eternal life. Yeah.
All right.
So she didn't kind of ask. It's one of them. You've always said this, actually. You say, oh, there's always a catch. Yeah, right. When we were talking about free wishes and what would your wishes be? And you were like, there's always a catch. There's always... You'll ask for one thing and you won't get exactly what you asked for.
Yeah, you ask for a burger and you'll get a cow.
Sibyl, exactly. She didn't read the fine print and she didn't ask to be immortal and be eternally youthful. Yeah. So she ended up like aging into it. Yeah, right. So obviously she's got eternal life, but some fucking shriveled up witch in the corner.
Nasty.
Sibyl, so she was like, she basically dwelled in this cave, and obviously the darkest corners, and this cave became Sibyl's cave, and became obviously where she, I think one of the doors leads to the underworld, and one leads to like the Greek gods.
Right, and it's right. So she's sort of like a guardian of the path.
Yeah, and she can apparently whispers can be heard behind the doors. Like say, one leads to the underworld, the ancient Greek version of hell. So like, Hades and proper hell, not like hell as in we.
Not like not like the devil's supposed to.
Yeah, it's more like
ancient
Greek hell, if you like. So.
Yeah.
Do you find any more? I think we've got quite a lot, actually, boys. Like, it's time permitting, so...
Yeah. Peru. There's one in Peru, which is on the border of Peru and Bolivia. I can't even say the bloody word. The nice little place in Peru where there's a doorway sketched out into a mountain on a flatbed land. Right. There's like a flatbed land, and in the middle of it you've got like this little bit of mountain, and within it you've got this stone carving of like a square door with like a little square door with inside as well. And they've done some studies with it, like dowering, them with the sticks.
Oh yeah, dowering rods. What are they called?
Dowering rods.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they did some.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah, that's the one. They tried testing it, and they worked out that female energy was on the outside and the male energy was on the inside. And then,
well, now, do you buy all that rod stuff? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I mean, would you say that there was some sort of like energy field or magnetic field or electric? I mean, there's a number of things that could. I mean, I don't know exactly what those are supposed to be testing for. Genuinely, I don't know what.
Supposed to find water.
Yeah, no, I've seen people use them to find gold. I've seen them to find water. I've seen them use them to find. They say that, you know, you just like, is it like Jack Sparrow's compass, wherever you're pointing that you want, whatever you want the most in life, you'll find with your rods. No, do you know what I mean? Because I just don't understand the science behind them.
I think it's more to do with energy within, close proximity to yourself. Like right next to me, there's a different environment to what I'm sat in now. I'm sat in like maybe thousands of different kinds of environments.
Basically like if you were to say, I've got my aura, I've got my own energy field, and my rods are within my own energy field. So if I come across anything else like another energy field and it disrupts my rods,
this rod says there's some kind of energy here that's not naturally to what it was. I can see why
that might work. Okay.
Yeah, but then you've got electric fields and stuff like that. You've got the technology now to, actually check to see why is it doing it. And it does seem to be to do with reflected fields everywhere around you, because everywhere is different at every point. It's just... And that's why I'm a big fan of string theory kind of thing as well.
Yeah, I suppose. So what's this place?
This place is... southern area of Peru, near the borders of...
See, Peru's got some like really kind of ancient history there. Anyway, do you know what I mean?
This is one of the places where I was talking about, the church come in and said like, don't pray here, blah, blah, get away. But it's always been known, and they don't even know when it was made. First settlers have seen it and continued on whatever their beliefs are at the time, or whatever they've seen at the time, and gone bang. But I believe there was a case or a couple of cases, don't quote me on this because I've just thought about it now, that there was aliens, I believe, were seen a number of times in that area, and that's what give it a little bit of, there's some kind of creature here, and this is the area to go. Because there's another place in Africa. I tried to find it before, but I just didn't have time. There's another place in Africa that's sort of the same symbol, and it was supposed to have been alien or some kind of species that met the locals and give them advice and blah blah. But they went through these holes, so I think that's where they've seen something. They believe they've gone through the hole, and they've continued the, the superstition.
Yeah.
Or truth, because, I can't say if it isn't true or not.
What the crack is, do you, really?
We've got wormholes and all sorts around the world, you know what I mean? But we don't really...
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's like, when we've talked about, areas on the planet that have different energies, and you get kind of, time slowing down or time... messing up in little areas, or
there's always
you've got places like Stonehenge which emit energies, and the
Incas use this place as well.
Is it too far out the realms to think that there is these and I mean, it's like a portal to hell could just be a portal to a place you don't understand. Do you know what I mean?
To Mars. There you go.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if you step foot on Red Planet, would you not think I was in a barren wasteland? It'd be a barren...
You'd have no oxygen.
Oh, you don't know.
You know what I mean? Well, unless you're wearing a spacesuit when you go.
We don't know. We've never been.
Well, no, but if we can find that Stargate, come on.
I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's like most of these places, though. I mean, like we say, we've come up with a couple of different options here tonight. I mean,
but there's absolutely.
I think this one piques me. I've still got a few more of what to talk about, to be honest. Is it Etra Ale? Which is in Ethiopia. It's another volcano. It's one of 5 known lava lakes in the world.
Oh, right, okay.
And this is literally like an area where it's just a sea of molten lava. Yeah. Temperatures go up to around about 1,100 degrees Celsius, which is 2,000 Fahrenheit. The volcano is known locally as Smoky Mountain and the gateway to hell.
Right.
Which I thought was interesting. We wanted to talk about this Devil's Tree. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've had a lot of volcanoes. We've had a couple of doors. I think we need to add a tree in order.
Well, this is a bit of a different story, you see, because the Devil's Tree in Florida is a haunted tree, and it's haunted by evil, apparently. Florida's first serial killer made the Devil's Tree what it is today, apparently.
Okay.
So it's why a haunted house is haunted. Sometimes it's because they're built on, like, you know, burial grounds, like we've discussed with what was this the Bothell House, Hell House, upset spirits, all that. But obviously, I think it was Gerald John. Is it? I can't pronounce his Scaffer. Yeah. Was basically like son of an abusive father.
Yeah.
Basically was a bit of a
bad broken home.
But I think he used to hang his victims off the tree. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and it ended up becoming known as this sort of like place
too
like,
much blood around the tree.
Yeah, too much sort of bad feeling. And the tree would be the centre of many of his murders. Do you know what I mean? So less than a decade after, people started to comment on, feeling like the tree was a bit haunted.
Weird. Yeah.
And many believe that the Devil's Tree was the specific tree used to torture and murder his victims. Still others think that the tree is imbued with the evil that he had,
portrayed in
the world, So I think that's a bit weird. But I've seen a few people who've kind of gone up to the house, gone up to the tree, and like they've rather felt weird or kind of. I remember seeing something about a musician who had heard about it, and he wanted to go and check it out, and like I'm pretty sure something happened en route. Do you know what I mean? Or
so they didn't manage to get there.
They didn't manage to get all the way there, but it was like something happened. But it's like an interesting one. I think we might have to go into this one because it is a deep one by the looks of it.
Yeah, it sounds more like to me, it's either some kind of like the tree might be giving off some kind of spore that's giving you like once you're breathing it in, you're not feeling as well, or that it's like you got to trust your own senses, you know what I mean? And it's a case of like if you sense that, there's just something not right.
There's various legends that are surrounding it. A common claim is that the Barnum Township is one of the central headquarters of the Ku Klux Klan in New Jersey, and the tree was used to lynch African Americans and other sort of like disobedient slaves since the colonial times. Another claim is that a farmer hanged himself in the tree after killing his family, and that the tree and that anyone who tries to cut down the tree will come to an untimely end. Other legends surround the tree that alleged visitors who get too close to the tree will be chased by chased by a black Ford pickup truck.
What?
That'll disappear. Well, I think this is what this. I'm pretty sure I remember this guy saying this. Something happened that they would like someone on the road. Do you know what I mean?
Does this just happen once, not like all the time? It's just one of them.
I'm not sure. Is this? Do you know what? I'm pretty sure this is the same tree, but like
a horror movie.
Oh no,
the truck kind
of Devil's Trees, but I mean, like the Devil's Tree. I mean, I've got the Devil's Tree in Florida. Yeah, and the Devil's Tree in New Jersey. Yeah, so two different Devil's Trees. So you've got one which was used by a serial killer. Yeah, and was supposed to be imbibed with the evil that
Yeah.
you know
the tree just has that.
And then you've got the other Devil's Tree, which is got in New Jersey and in is it Somerset County, and that's got a load of different
bodies
claims to it. So whether you believe it, I mean, we couldn't really say they were entrances or gateways to hell, or just conduits for evil.
Well, yeah, that's more likely that it's just there's bad energy. There's massive.
That's some bad juju going on there, man.
Definitely.
So,
I wouldn't like to. Mind you, would you cut if give you £1,000? Would you cut the tree down?
Well, no, but like in fact, isn't there something at Alton Towers like that? In fact, one of the rides is like is that exact story where they say, "Oh, the tree in Alton Towers." The same thing, somebody's family, and they cut it down, and then it ended up kind of, but he used it to do some experimentation or whatever. It's great, yeah. Go and check it out. It's one of those. Right, okay. Do you know what it is? Right, it's one of those sort of like crazy rooms that when you sit in there, the whole room spins around, but you stay put.
Oh yeah.
It's like the best one of them you'll ever go on.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's in the main it's in the main hall at Alton Towers. It's great. Not been to Alton Towers for ages, but I recommend. We're not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor us, Alton Towers, we'll come down and ride that ride for free.
Yeah,
all day. Yeah,
every day.
So, well, there you go. I think we've covered quite a lot in terms of Devil's Doorways. I mean, I wanted to go into a bit more in terms of Antarctica, really. We can do quickly if you like, because obviously, all these entrances and subterranean underground areas. There's so many, right? You've got subterranean town. You've got a whole city under Edinburgh. Talking about like Laura's hometown, whole city built on a city. Yeah. Then you've got places like, France.
You got the same.
I was just about to say you've got the Catacombs of France. Yeah, right. Which you could argue is your number one gateway to hell. Yeah, because to be fair, you go down there and it's all skulls and bones.
People gotten lost. Yeah, there's that. Yeah,
you can get lost in there, and you'd be hard pushed to be found. Obviously, there's people who do know the routes down there. Mapped it all out and stuff.
Homeless are using it, aren't they, at the moment? Which is fair enough. Yeah, they
seriously. But would you want to sleep down there in the catacombs?
But would you rather sleep down there or up in the pissing wet?
Well, to be honest, mate, in the pissing wet, because at the end of the day, what's another skull to the collection?
Yeah, but if you've got a collection of, your fellow people around you, there's less chance.
Less likely. I'm not sure if it's got a reputation for being an entrance to hell.
Parties as well. Massive parties, the underground parties that have been going on down there as well. That's been a big complaint at the moment, because they're just going down there, throw your phone up, bang, let's listen to
it. Well, to be honest, it's like I would have thought that the French government would have had a bit more of something to say about that, but considering it's the heritage and the history. How long's them catacombs been preserved for? And I mean, they're pretty macabre. Do you know what I mean? A bit grim down there, but. I mean,
but it was the time when they had nowhere to put it in it.
That's no, but it's the way that it's.
Carved out.
It is the way it's set up, and it is just a gnarly thing to look at, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and definitely. Yeah.
You think that, like I say, I mean, when you're thinking about the iconography of hell and how you'd describe it if you were trying to be really kind of like expressive and try and be really descriptive with what you were saying, it'd be fires of molten lava and skulls, and you'd be really quite, it'd be along those lines, wouldn't it? To know that there's places on Earth that actually mirror that quite well. I mean, you could say, but I mean, on the flip side, we'll say about this website, and it's just a random little door with a little bit of information. Nothing special about the website whatsoever. Like I say, it's pretty lo-fi.
Yeah.
How do we know that they're not the genuine ones?
Well,
you know what I mean?
This was the thing. I was thinking, I took a picture of my door and went, well, you know what? John Wayne walked through that door in 1962. Bam. Right. There's a story to it. Next door. Take photo of next door.
Yeah,
right.
I suppose. Well, no, but I mean, yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, it could be that, but on, in terms of
unless he's got the addressing details there,
the grandeur of the brimstone and the fires and all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want something a bit more, bit more kind of low key?
Might be someone who's got a door
Stop
fetish.
fondling your mic, Hugh. I can hear you.
It might be someone with a fetish. There are people out there who collect stamps. Fondlers? Train spotters.
Hey, no, I'm not wondering why he's doing it. I just feel like, I mean, but where's he getting his information from?
Well, yeah. Well,
do you know what I mean?
This is the thing, innit? Yeah, there's no clarification
anyway,
of where the info's come
if
from.
If you've got if we've missed anything and you think you can add, or another area that we'd be quite interested in, let us know. Because
let us know.
I was searching to see if there was any local to me, to be honest, to see if I could find any local entrances to hell. Yeah. And no, there wasn't anything too local. There's not a volcano on the end of my street. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that is very true. That is very true. But you got the undergrounds at Manchester.
Do you know what? I've been in them. Yeah. I've done. I've been
done a walk around.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I actually wanted to do a project. In fact, I did a project where I went down in the underground of Manchester and took a lot of photographs. But it's very difficult. Yeah. Right. You'll find that obviously if you've had any experience in going into these sort of underground places, it gets warm really quick, but it also if it fogs up your camera equipment, you get kind of its own climate, so you can get fog, totally. It's really difficult. So you need to kind of go prepared, I mean, I'd never been down there, so I did get quite a lot of good photographs, but these things I would have done differently, and I tried to get back down there, but they basically done a risk assessment and said,
they locked it down.
Locked it down. I do believe that there are some tours going on in the Manchester Underground, but there are only certain areas, and not all the areas.
Good areas.
Yeah. No, there's some really weird stuff. I mean, you can go and you can Google it and find it, but I'm pretty sure that most of these places, Edinburgh will probably do a tour of their underground.
I know.
The Catacombs probably do. I'd love to go on them, but this is what I'm saying. If there's anything we've missed, let us know, and we'll try and incorporate it in another episode.
Because no doubt we'll come back to this. It's a big topic, and we have mentioned a few times in different ones about
I was trying to cover everything. Do you know what I mean? And it was one of them, but anyway, we've got a featured podcast this week.
We have,
as usual. This week's promo is brought to you by the Comic Book Keepers.
Oh, they keep a lot of comics.
Podcast where each issue they explore different comic book characters, teams, or series, hosted by Chris and Lance, two nerd friends who love to talk about comics. And we've got a promo here.
Hey, this is Chris.
And Lance.
Asking you to check out our new podcast, Comic Book Keepers.
Join us as we delve deep into comic lore to uncover the history behind a wide variety of comic book characters. Doesn't make sense, but it sounds awesome.
It's comic physics. Each episode will feature one hero, villain, team, or ensemble, and break down what makes these heroes super.
We'll give you recommendations on what storylines to read.
If you're going to read one Joker story, this might be it. Explain how characters were created.
And the publisher said it was the worst thing he had ever heard. Discuss adaptations, costumes, and answer comic fandom's what-if questions.
If we were to make a new turtle, what would they look like? And of course, the important question, what color would their headband be? Yeah, and spoiler alert, these conversations can get pretty nerdy.
He can't die. He's basically Highlander that can fly, you know, with like huge muscles. And he's been around so long, and he was Abraham Lincoln.
He was Abraham Lincoln. This is Comic Book Keepers.
Thanks, guys, for dropping in your promo. If you want to get your promo over to us, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. Even, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
So, now we've finished talking about the devil's buttholes. We've got plenty of news to talk about, so we'll get cracking on with that right now.
Yes.
It's the news! And as always, we've looked all over the internet, spent a good 20 minutes trying to find the craziest news from Earth, space, and beyond. And it's news time! So, what have you got for me, Taylor? What have you seen? What's happening in the world? Because I know I've got some fucking belters this week.
You got some crackers, you. Yeah, I haven't got that much this week.
It's a cracker.
One of them that I got is Nicola Sturgeon, the SNP leader. She come out the other day saying that nurses are going to get 4% in Scotland. But what she was really doing was covering up a leak of a report that was coming out that was saying that the child services been the worst.
Is that opinion or
ever.
fact?
No, that's fact. It's fact that she had the bigger article of the 4% when actually
I think I think they should give them. I think the nurses and doctors in the UK have fucking smashed it the last couple of they always smash it, but
she could have done it a day after this result come out.
If they can't get a pay rise now, then this country's fucking it should be ashamed. Do you know what I mean? I think I think anyone in the medical profession should be looked after. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that's it. I think, and if she's promised to pay him 4%. She should,
I don't think they're going to get it.
Well, they should honour it, but
but that's down to the government, because the government are looking. The British government are looking at taking powers away from her now because she's been too loud.
Well,
and she's.
I don't know if she's got kind of legs in not like good. Got legs
she's had a lot of shit lately
in politics in the near future, but. Is Alexander Salmond is starting up his own party?
Yes, he is.
So, I mean, it depends what his policies are, but again, it's one of those people like a change, and if somebody's kind of coming up in the new and they're exciting and they've got they're an alternative. That's why Trump did so well, because they're an alternative to the norm, and it's like so we'll see. I mean, it doesn't always work, does it?
It doesn't always work.
Look at Farage. You know what I mean? But then again, it's what your policies are. If your policies are just like normal fucking, I've got all the same views as them, but I'll do things a little bit differently, then that could be a winner. Do you know what I mean? But
we wouldn't have had Farage if when the government said they were going to do certain things, then they would have done it. But instead, they needed that prompt of someone standing there and going, "You said you were going to do this, do it." You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough in that respect.
And that's basically what he was. Well, he was stood there going, "You said you were going to do this, do this."
He's a child. He's a childish guy. But I found this story. A Georgia man who's accusing his former employer of being childish.
Oh, right.
After he received his final payment. Okay, this is keeping in line with the... I've got... by the way, there's a lot of devil-related and hell-related news stories this week. Only subtly, because that's how it works, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So, after receiving his final payment of $915, which is £666 UK, in pennies.
Oh,
yeah.
See.
So he discovered a haul of 90,000 coins, which were covered in an oily, greasy substance, just dumped on his driveway. On top of the pile was his final pay slip. With a message basically saying that, from basically it was a message saying here's what we owe you. And I mean, it's one of them, and it's just like,
In
What
one
did
way,
he do?
he's a bit childish.
He's very
But in another
childish.
way, he's pretty smart.
Well, he's had
You know
he's
what I
had
mean?
his payment, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't like
It must
that.
have pissed him off, right?
Well, I don't know.
for
Well, it's
that.
obviously his final payment for a reason, wasn't it?
Well, that's true. That's true.
You know, so.
But
I mean, still,
they couldn't do that. They couldn't do
you've
that.
got to wash
here
them
now.
all. You've got to put them all in penny rolls, take them all to the bank.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
might as well
hassle.
just get a metal deal that'll come in. Yeah, so.
Do you reckon you get more for it in scrap value?
Well, there was a point when not that long ago, after the 2008 crash, you could do that, but you can't destroy.
I actually heard that. Yeah, that you could wait.
'Cause copper was a lot more,
actually worth more in weight value than cash value.
You'll get in trouble if you find that if they get caught, because it is you're destroying the picture of the Queen. You cannot destroy.
Is that
anything that's
true?
got-
Is that true? Because how many kids? Do you know what? There's not a child alive that hasn't put a penny in one of them machines. Why do them machines exist then in museums?
Yeah, but they're not destroying the penny.
Yes,
If
you are. You're defacing the Queen. Yeah, I'm putting a penny in a machine that elongates the penny. Yeah. And prints the fucking, I don't know, railway museum on it or whatever, yeah, depending where I am. And that's defacing the Queen's image. And they put them in museums. It's a fucking machine that defaces coins. That's the only thing it does, yeah. So I'm starting to believe, and then again, there's not a child alive who hasn't put a penny on a railway line track to see if it squashed it or whatever. Or derail a train, which is a myth.
Yeah.
You can't derail a train with a penny on a track.
No.
But you can
I
shoot.
had a brick. You
could impale somebody.
Yeah.
So, talking of impaling somebody, right? Mm-hmm. This story is about a man in the Philippines, who had a knife lodged in his body for more than a year. Yeah.
Whoa, what?
He was stabbed and he didn't realise it. Yeah.
That they kept it in.
So,
oh no!
Seriously, Ken Ryan Tomo, was stabbed by a group of teenagers back in January 2020, and he's gone 12 months.
And not realised he's
in a bit of discomfort, but obviously when he went to the doctors to try and have a look, they've discovered.
He should be glad that
he had,
ain't proper shot.
He'd been taking painkillers and stuff like that, but without taking an X-ray, they didn't know what it was. Do you know what I mean? So then they got the X-ray and discovered that there was a blade lodged.
So he mustn't have gone to
ribs.
hospital straight after the incident then.
No, he didn't go to hospital probably at all. He probably went home.
Punched me in the side. It's all right.
Maybe he just thought he just had a nick, because it does look like the handle's been broke off. Do you know what I mean? And it's just the blade.
Snap.
Yeah. So he's probably thought, I've got a cut.
Yeah. But there's nothing protruding.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Just...
So but
fair enough. But fucking hell, he's lucky man then.
So it was 4-inch, 10-centimetre blade, which was still lodged inside his body next to his rib cage. So he said he occasionally felt a pain in his chest.
I'm not surprised. Lucky it didn't puncture his fucking lungs.
It's one of them, though, knife swallowers. Do you know them sword swallowing people?
Yeah, but you have to train for that. And,
but what I'm saying is, are there cavities in your body that you can get away with having a knife impaled in you and not cause you any major... it's obviously it's just missed his lungs. I'm sure you could. But what I'm saying is, it's just missing his lungs. It's in his rib cage. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's that thing of... one slip, you fell against the door. Bang,
that's it. If he was in a sort of an impact accident or anything, he's fucked.
Sitting on a time bomb, if you think about it.
Yeah. Have you got anything else you want to... Have you got any news stories?
I have. Scientists have
Science?
found,
Go on.
Oh, yeah.
What have they done this time?
A sea snail that, if you cut its head off, it will grow a new body.
Hydra, mate.
Yeah.
Cut its head off and two will grow.
And I mean, it's like a little fucking head, you know what I mean? But
so
it grows a big body within hours.
What?
Within hours,
so
it will start growing its new body.
So it's like Deadpool. So if you cut its head off, its body, so no matter which side you cut it up, it'll regrow. So can they not study this to see if you can kind of like regrow limbs and stuff? Or because I know I
think they will
looked at
to be honest.
Reptiles in that respect.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if this is a rapid regeneration, wow. And what's this? Where's this been discovered?
They haven't actually said, just in the sea. So I don't think they want a lot of people knowing, because if you think about it, if you've got competitors out there, you don't want to know where you're getting your quality goods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to know where we can get what's it called now? The Cerberus. What was the thing called? In Hydra, or was it the Hydra? They cut off the head and it regrows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like a starfish, because starfish would know.
It's like a starfish.
Like a starfish.
It's not.
Not a chocolate whale.
It's definitely not.
But it's science is trying to find and using the capabilities of these animals. But then again, we're going to have a limited time, because the way we're destroying the world, they're only going to survive to a certain degree.
Well, it just depends. If there's loads of stuff we've not even discovered.
It's changing massively, really, though, isn't it? We've been short amount of time.
Going back to hell, and scientists again.
Yeah. Oh, we love a good science.
Well, scientists are. Do you know, like the Icelandic erupting volcano that is also a gateway to hell? Scientists, mate, are sizzling the sausages.
Oh, nasty. Now, the gases.
Seriously, flash cooking. I mean, I wouldn't trust it, because lava's like, going to cook your sausages a little too hot, aren't they?
I like mine burnt, but I don't like mine not burnt, you know what I mean?
Apparently, they've been, obviously, they're doing some research, but, like, they've been cooking some sausages.
Bacon, eggs,
over the lava. The Sizzle Fest kicked off on Saturday.
Why not?
The volcano, which is close to, is it Reykjavik in Iceland, which was erupting, and it's been erupting. It's been getting loads of tourism, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been getting tons of it, but mind you, when you got an eruption and you can get as close as possible.
Seriously, I've seen a news article before where they were literally on top. They were literally standing over it, and it's like dangerous as fuck. And I mean, it is a site that, I mean, if I lived local,
once in a lifetime,
I'd love to go and check it out myself. But
it's
one of them, isn't it? It's like
I'd be getting prepared, getting ready to move, just in case.
It goes off again. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, what was that one a couple of months back where there were fatalities, and it was just dead unexpected. I think if it's already going off, you
know that there's something there.
There's activity there. You need to be really careful.
It's about how much of that pressure. I mean, it's good that it's letting that pressure out, because you don't want to keep that pressure in, because then that's the time you're going to get the explosion. But then again, get it over and done with.
Yeah, well, there
you know what
I mean. Talk to me.
Talk to you. Crocodiles.
Shit, fucking yeah, crocodiles.
Crocodiles, surprisingly.
In the sewers?
No, surprisingly, in Birmingham.
Huh? Right,
Dead crocodiles got found. Basically, the British police and the NWCU, who a wildlife criminal
Can I just stop you there?
Agency. Yeah.
Did you just say dead crocodiles have been found in Birmingham?
Yeah.
Like where?
Like in a house.
In someone's house?
Yeah. Basically, there was a raid. The police did a raid on a house in Birmingham, and he ended up finding like loads of crocodile heads.
Shit.
Not the bodies, just the heads.
Why?
And it's like, where the fuck did you get that from?
What are they doing with the... Wait a minute. How did they get crocodiles in Birmingham?
Importing.
And what are they doing with where the rest of them?
Well, they probably only needed their head because, like, it might have something to do with the teeth or, the eyes or something.
Oh, man, I don't even know why you do that. I just think that's really bizarre.
Well, to be honest, if you think about it,
Hang about.
Down to
It
money
was what was he
because people
called?
need money,
What
sell
was
it.
he called now? Off Alvida Same Pet. Jimmy Nail.
Jimmy Nail, yeah.
He
Crocodile
wasn't
shoes.
from Birmingham, was he?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He was from Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah.
I was going to say, if they found him in Newcastle, I'd be right round Jimmy Nail's house because of his crocodile shoes. But he's not. He's from Birmingham. He's not from Birmingham, is he?
He might have moved. I think
he might have moved.
Yeah, he might
Does he live? Does Jimmy Nail live in Birmingham? If so, we've got ourselves a suspect.
Where the rest of the croc is. But yeah, it's just showing like after Brexit and the border's supposed to be up and stuff like this. Yet you can get stuff like this free.
What?
How on earth?
Where do you even start?
And why would you need
buying a crocodile head?
Yeah,
where did you find that on
go
eBay?
Somewhere who will poach it, you will pay a lot of money for that, and then or a little bit of money for that, and then as it's going up the line, it either goes up in price or low in price.
Yeah, that's true.
Know what I mean? And people, when
I'm sure there's a black market for everything, isn't there? Fucking hell.
There is.
But I mean, when it comes to animals, I'm not.
Yeah, it's
it kind of does bum me out a bit.
Yeah, especially with the way the species are going down. You know what I mean?
Crocodiles are vicious little bastards, but I mean, leave them be. You know what I mean? Now, you don't bother me, I won't bother you.
You know what I mean? One of the oldest dinosaurs ever living. You know what I mean? It's one of them, and like they will go out like elephants. They reckon elephants are going to be out in about 5 years. We're not going to have any elephants around. Now, that'd be a shame, not just for us, but for the generations that got come.
I know, yeah, when in future generations, when they taught about these things that we did have, but we let them all die off. Yeah, nice one, humanity.
Someone needed tusks to make a fucking nice
chess
ornament.
Set or whatever.
It's despicable, and it should be owned by the balls.
Because people are weird, man. People do the stupidest stuff. I found this story here. This guy called Daniel Boyd Bromlow. He's just been found guilty of burning down his home in Rockhampton. Yeah, for the insurance. Yeah, so so I mean, obviously, it's like shit happens. You know, people's houses do burn down. I'm not saying that
that's true.
You know, thingy, but this is just ridiculous that he was found guilty. And charged with arson. After an attempt to fraud the insurance company by claiming that his house was accidentally destroyed. When they did actually look into his case, it turned out that he had search history on his computer, basically asking the questions: how do I burn down my house and make it look like an accident? Yeah, right. So he found as soon as he pulled him up, they found him guilty. He admitted it. But it's just so ridiculous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is it's absolutely ridiculous. It makes me.
There is so much more to it. There's more to it than that. But fuck me, do you know what I mean? It's like that's the bit you focus on.
Darwin
really,
Award.
Isn't it? I did think that, but he didn't pass away in the fire, did he?
Maybe stupid award.
So, yeah.
It does.
So we were talking at the beginning of the show about the Evergreen tanker. Yeah. If you've got to have seen this. So the Evergreen tanker is probably the largest, if not is the largest
ship in the shipping
cargo ship in the world, right?
Yeah.
And obviously it got stuck in the Suez Canal recently, which we straight away went, is this been done on purpose? Do you know, like, are they trying to hold up,
something,
trade or whatever?
Yeah, it's just something going on,
stop, because obviously it means other traffic has to go right the way round a continent.
More.
Yeah, it's going to cost them more in fuel. Basically, there's just a whole load of logistical nightmare, isn't it?
Right, that this is the first time it's ever happened.
First time it's ever happened. But
and you get the biggest tanker. You know what I mean? I know it's half an hour to stop the fuck up, but
look, it just comes into the calls into the argument of, do we not kind of go overboard? Yeah, right. We know how big the Suez Canal is. Yeah, right. And we know that that's an essential waterway for export, right?
Yeah.
So if we start going, right, well, we want to be able to ship as much stuff as possible in one go, as fast as possible, because we've got the biggest boat, biggest dick, right?
Yeah.
Then don't be surprised when it gets stuck, you can't. You basically they want to have it all. Do you know what I mean? And they want to ship it all quick.
The luncheon meat.
Take your time, man. Do you know, 2 boats? But at least it's not going to cause a big fuck up like that. Yeah,
but then it comes down to cost again. You know what I mean? Everything is consumption. Well, it should.
Well, but they're not taking into account all the cost of the people who got stuck behind that evergreen tanker. Right. The small businesses,
depending how.
Of course, it could have ruined smaller businesses because they can't get their goods there and they haven't got enough fuel to go all the way round, right? So they've got to rather wait until it's been refloated and moved and hope for the best, basically. Which is luckily, they've done it quick, because this morning I think they'd half refloated it, and then by this afternoon it was towed out and
proper been dredging the fuck up.
Well, it was like big gust of wind. Apparently, that was the reason.
This is the thing that I don't. I think there's got to be more than just a big gust of wind.
Well, this is the thing, you see, because like I know we were saying, is this some sort of conspiracy?
Is there a conspiracy there? Because people are going to bring this up.
Is it? Yeah, because this is the thing, because a truck carrying an evergreen container caused a major traffic jam in China today. Pictures have gone viral. It happened on like the 27th. So a truck carrying an evergreen shipping container crashed and caused a big traffic jam on a freeway in China. Obviously the pictures went instantly viral because of the container was doing exactly what its big brother was doing on the Suez that day.
Well, if they got monsters on there or something.
So it does make you think, is this company trying to make a statement?
Or is someone attacking the company?
Yeah, maybe.
It could work out that way, that someone's
they've just got a lot of drunk drivers driving the trucks and boats.
Someone's had a couple of more whiskies than they really should have.
It would have been funny though if he got out of his cab and when they went, "Why did you crash?" and he went, "Big gust of wind."
I'd like to see that on video.
But I would have believed that. I would have believed it on a tanker, on a fucking like a lorry, not on the massive boat that blocked the Suez.
Anyway. True. And with the technology these days, this shouldn't be able to. You know what I mean? And it's just so funny that they're blaming it on one thing. But as time will tell, we'll probably get more information, and it's either going to be suspicious or it's not.
Well, all the little tugboats were all sounding the horns. Do you know, when they released, like, he's fucking free. We can get past.
Yeah, we could get home. We could get home.
See how I can see my wife.
Been here 4 days.
And I'm pretty hungry.
And I'm part-time.
I know, I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was on holiday tomorrow.
So, have you got anything else you want to talk about? I've got a couple more stories before we go into like NASA news and UFO sightings.
NASA, mate.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I've got this story. You've heard of the rapper Lil Nas X?
Yeah.
Lil Nas. Yeah. Right. Well, he's released a new pair of shoes, a new pair of trainers. Satan shoes, they're called.
Satan shoes.
Yeah, Satan shoes. And apparently they've inspired a new Illuminati conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, like, Lil Nas is basically saying that he's a member of the Illuminati because he's revealed his controversial pair of trainers, the Satan shoes, a pair of black and red sneakers which feature a pentagram. Yeah.
Oh.
And an inverted cross design. Yeah, so it's pretty controversial.
I don't think the church is going to like that.
He's only made 666 pairs, yeah, and each contain a single drop of human blood.
Yeah.
So obviously the church isn't impressed. Well,
no, I bet the church is ripping the fucking hair out, man.
I know, but the New York-based company, is it MSCHF that made the sneakers by modifying Nike Air Max 97s. Yeah, so obviously they're made out of Nikes. Yeah, so obviously it's a bit of a kind
so
of
he's got old he's got old stuff and like jazzed it up and added a little bit of blood.
But there's a lot of this at the moment. I mean, like people taking trainers and doing their own modifications or whatever. Yeah, that's cool. Custom treads. Yeah. But obviously, this guy's bought 666 pairs and done a limited run on them. Yeah, so obviously Nike are going to have something to say, which they do, because Nike has declined involvement and announced, which obviously saying that the announcement by the singer Lil Nas, that he's made custom-made Satan shoes sneakers with which contain human blood. So
it's a bit controversial, isn't it? Really, on different levels, I would say. Even adding the blood. Should you add your blood to certain material? It's going to get we'll
go into this in a sec, because this is funny, because like it's like they've also made a pair of trainers called Jesus shoes, which contain a drop of holy water, so but no one's kicking off about that. Right?
I bet not. And you can't have one without the other.
And you say obviously about like the blood in aspect, some people probably a bit weirded out by that, but Marvel back in 1977 released a comic with the rock band Kiss, which the band's blood was mixed with the ink and printed the comic, so like each comic had
the DNA trace,
the blood trace of the band Kiss. So later on in you could clone them.
Yeah, but that's different to having.
So I mean, is this little Nazi's blood or just human blood?
Yeah, he's seen the victim or something. I'll stab you. That's where he lost his blade.
It's like do you know what? It's like I've probably got blood on my, on most people's got blood on the trainers somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
If you wash them, then they're going to get put. So I think they're going to be got to be wrapped into something, maybe like a little jewelry piece. Hangs off the bottom.
It'll be kind of like, I don't know. This is the thing, isn't it?
You wouldn't put it on the material, though, would you?
Well, it's not like they've made the ink like in this Marvel comic where they've made an ink and printed the book with the ink. These are custom trainers. They were Nikes before they got their hands on them. So it wasn't like they made the trainers with the drop of blood inside. So they must
be... Yes. So you'd have to either open it up and put a little bit of blood in the bottom
you could put them in the air bubble.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got water in those or a liquid in those, haven't you? I mean, I suppose you could put it in that.
Yeah.
No, I know they got air ones, but you've got watery ones as well.
You could put another kind of liquid in it, or
I don't know. Do you know what? We'll have to have a look into it, won't we? But I don't think. It's not anything new in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? And I can understand the controversial nature of it, but I'd Satan shoes.
Would you buy a pair?
Obviously, they're going to make me run faster, aren't they?
Well, you'll be dealing with the devil, won't you?
Well, this is it. Well, definitely wear them then.
But then certain places won't allow you in, or you know what I mean. I reckon something like imagine going to church on Sunday.
There's certain places that won't let me in. What, like church? Well, it's not really my scene.
I felt a bit hot when I was stood in there.
I know. I was saying my ears were burning. So that's all my news. But I do have some NASA news and some UFO news.
Oh, yes.
So I found this story which I thought it's got to be true. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a UFO sighting in Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a man called Richmond Mambeo. Yeah, he's 47 from Zimbabwe. He was heading home before claiming he'd saw an unidentified flying object appear out of nowhere. He said he spotted it. It was an unusual light in the sky, followed by a really deafening noise, right?
Yeah.
So he said he was startled by it. The sound caused him to come flying off his bike.
Oh,
it's got to be true.
Yeah, it's got to be true. Then, if he's fell off his bike, did he hit himself?
He fell off his bike.
Is he putting a claim?
He panicked and fell off his bike. Right. So
yeah,
it wasn't like he was he was garping. Do you know what I mean? It was one of them. Do you know, like
paying attention?
Wasn't watching the road. Something obviously startled him. What do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, I reckon it is. I don't reckon it's a UFO. I reckon clocked it straight off. It's either one of two things.
Go on.
A meteorite.
Okay.
That's come through and just switched through the. Because he had witnesses, didn't he? Not.
Oh, I'm not sure. Go on.
No
witnesses. He was travelling alone on his motorbike, coming home around 9 a.m.
See, the boom makes me think it's either a jet, which is doing over Mark 1, and he's heard them hit Mark 1, or it's a meteorite that could have blown up within, a few more miles away from him where he didn't see it, and it blew up, and that's where he heard the boom from.
Well, Mr. Mayobo describes it as looking like a rocket with fire on its back.
Yeah, I'd say a plane.
I'd say
a jet myself.
Sort of jet. Yeah, maybe.
Hit Mark 1 to be. That's just my opinion at the minute of the info that I've got. But
so what was it doing? What would that be doing? Well, basically,
flying.
Well, FAA air traffic controllers didn't see any objects in the area or on radar scope. So
yeah, but that could that's all right. That because the same as radar only goes up to a certain level. So this aeroplane, jet, could have been flying at low level to miss the radar. So he might have seen, another country, flying over his country,
having a look at stuff. Having a look around.
Just having a little nosy, you know what I mean? This is what they do. And, with African countries with not as much technology as us.
Yeah, they can get away with it a bit more, can't they? Yeah, exactly.
Stuff that we used to use and still use today, you know what I mean? So, to me, I'd say it was an aircraft, but mainly because of the boom behind that made me think that.
So, yeah. So there's Taylor's opinion on that.
That's my opinion, yeah. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why.
No. What other NASA news have you seen this week, or SpaceX stuff, or whatever?
I have seen there's a mystery glow caused in our galaxy, centre of our galaxy, apparently. And they don't know what it is, but they think it is dark matter. Now, let me just say, there is never, ever,
I love how they always go, it could be dark matter. At this point, it's like they're just praying for anything that turn up that they can call dark matter.
Well, they're saying there's a lot more gamma radiation coming from that area. But if you remember a couple of months back, scientists said that they found a dark matter object that's been going through our galaxy from one end to the other, and it will be not that long hitting near the centre. And this seems
well, how do they know it's the dark matter? Or when they catch it and they go, it was something else altogether?
Well, because it's something. Let's say it's a cloud in the sky, and it's not like a normal cloud. It is throwing out shitloads of radiation, or it's constantly raining. Then it's different to, a normal cloud. The reason why clouds do it's just constantly raining, and it's just a lot different than normal background.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that, but also it could be a bajillion other things we don't know about.
It could be. That's why it's been put under as a mystery. They don't exactly know what it is. But to add on top of that, we have never, ever, ever, ever took a photo of our galaxy because we can't. We're not too far out to take photos.
Not. Yeah.
So the general picture of our galaxy is like based on other galaxies. So we don't, if you think about it, we don't exactly know.
We don't even know what we look like. Yeah, that's the thing,
exactly.
isn't it?
We don't know. We could be in a big portal for all we know. You know what I mean? It could be anything.
Well, one day we'll be able to get far enough out with one of these probes that we can turn back on ourselves and see that. You know, take that picture and send it back.
You got out.
Yeah, SpaceX have been preparing for a possible launch of its prototype. Its interplanetary spaceship or Starship rocket from its facility in Texas on Monday, which would have been today, I assume.
Yes.
The company is hoping to finally perform its successful test after the last 3 attempts have ended in spectacular explosions.
Yeah, well, I think the first 2 were the same, weren't they? In the last one,
well, they got up, but then they came down and then blew up.
Yeah, and it blew up. Yeah, so
Techno King.
Hopefully they've got the answer to it, because I really want to see us, reach out a bit more now.
Reach out.
I think we've got the balls, we've got the technology, we've got the money. We might as well put it into practice. I mean, because it could help us in the long run as a human race.
Yeah, well, on the other hand, I've got another story here that says SpaceX proposed Starship test might be postponed.
Oh no! Well, yeah, good actually. So then they know that there might be something wrong. They've found something else that's wrong. If they can, every time they can find something wrong with it, it's better for the shuttle later on.
Here we go.
What I mean?
Yeah, company CEO and Techno King Elon Musk posted on Twitter that the flight was cancelled, called off because of a federal inspector couldn't reach the remote site in time. What a chump. Musk calls it
paperwork. That's a lot of money waiting
well,
there.
Yeah, we're waiting for some FBI dude.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh, we can't blast off this bajillion-pound rocket. Right.
He had to finish his cup of coffee out before he left the office.
Well,
or something.
he was. It was like 23 miles east of Brownsville.
Helicopter. It's not like NASA ain't got any. Get a spaceship. Get
23 miles from Brownsville. Yeah. I'll meet you at the station. I want to see my rocket go because I'm Techno King.
Yeah, pick him up on a rocket jet or something.
Because he's Techno King. Anyway.
Techno.
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla.
No prisoners. Take no prisoners.
Take no prisoner.
Anyway. We got some. I've got this one here. Right, this is a legit. I've got this story, but have you got any more NASA news? Because this is my last story, and
got one.
It's real hard hitting journalism, mine. So I want to
full concentration.
So what's your story, bro?
My one is Australian Natural University. I've done some research and found that there's evidence to state there is more than 4 layers of the Earth. You reckon there's a 5th one between the crust, the mantle, the outer core and the inner core, but also...
Yeah, again, stuff we were taught in school turns out to be bollocks.
Yeah, it turns out the inner core, they reckon there might be 2 more within that.
Well, we don't know, do we? Because we've never been in that deep. And they don't know.
This is it.
So,
sonar and,
yeah, like LiDAR and all those types of things, yeah.
But, so that's...
How did they do that? Because
I always knew it wasn't what they said.
So they shoot, they shoot radars or sonars into the ground,
yeah, waves, basically. They shoot into the Earth and check on the
well, it must be a powerful blast, because, I've seen that on a small scale, and they have to use explosives. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, depends what sort of... scanning they're using, I suppose. Yeah, so I'm sure.
I would have thought you possibly might have to use some radioactive material to get the power. Maybe I would have thought because don't forget, like you said, the waves and that are underneath, and the thickness, the thinness of it. You'd need a lot of power from one set of the Earth to the other, and it was just like waves. Mm-hmm. And you just need to go through the harder stuff as well as the softer stuff, but tell if there's hard stuff there or not. Yeah, there's different ways now.
Well, this is it though. But I mean, again, it's like I say. I mean, we don't. It just goes to show that it's just more stuff we didn't know or just assumed.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more to discover.
Oh,
We'll
We'll all in the fucking Earth next.
And talking about discoveries, it's been a childhood joke forever,
Okay.
But NASA have genuinely discovered, wait for it,
I'm waiting.
gas emitting and emanating from Uranus.
I didn't know they see me.
What? True story.
Uranus.
Yeah, so they basically, for decades old data from Voyager 2 space probe that went and, obviously explored outer reaches.
Yeah.
It sent back findings, and they've been looking over some of the data, and I think some of it's come back and they've said actually they've discovered, now they know what they're looking for. Gas is emitting from the planet.
Uranus.
Yeah. So, but obviously it's a...
Stop giggling.
What's it? Yeah, so I think as Voyager 2 flew by, I think 50,600 miles across, it found cloud tops and 2 new rings, 11 moons, and temperatures below minus 353 degrees Fahrenheit. What they didn't know was Voyager 2 flew through a plasmazoid, or a giant magnetic bubble that was pulling Uranus's atmosphere into space.
Ah.
Right? So, obviously, this is new. This is data that they didn't understand at the time.
Know. Yeah.
But, now looking back on it,
it
they're able to answer questions. So,
Seems to be, we seem, especially over the last 10 years, we seem to find a lot more of them that are pouring out gas into space.
Well, it's
quite a lot.
It's about kind of like your magnetic fields and stuff, isn't it, as well?
And the pull of Jupiter and the other planets. There's a lot. I'm surprised we don't. But then again, that Antarctic thing of,
it kind of says,
stuff that's leaving us, we don't know.
It says here, so it's like it raises questions about Uranus's odd magnetic field, but it answers questions about ours as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Totally.
So for example,
that's good news.
In the case of Earth, a planet's magnetic field can protect from cosmic solar radiation. Magnetic fields can also allow giant globs of atmosphere to be let loose when the field lines become tangled.
Yeah, which we have had.
But that's what they're trying to say, because Uranus has got such a weird gravitational field. It seems to be pulling the atmosphere out of it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's weird.
So it's got a field, but it's got a weak field that anything go past it could project anything within it.
Could pull atmosphere out into space, but basically potentially turning it into a barren rock.
Yeah,
eventually.
That's potentially what could have happened to Mars, for all we know. That something big enough will scrape past.
Well, Mars,
got you with your atmosphere.
Like we were saying, has some atmosphere to a bit of extent, but not as much as here on Earth, but more than the moon.
Yeah, and if you think about it, our atmosphere is really, really thin. You know what I mean? And we're living on literally a blue thin line. You know what I mean? It's really that
thick
thin.
enough for me, though. So that's all I'm asked about. Well, that's the news, I think.
I think so.
Well, like I say, we've got some. I forgot what I was going to say then. If you want to get in touch with us, if you've got any questions or comments, suggestions about today's show, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. You can hit us up at Twitter at NASA_never, on Instagram at neverstraightanswer, or just go to the website at neverstraightanswer.co.uk, where you can get downloadable content, videos, podcast episodes. Everything's on there, so check it out. Get a bit of merch. And so, like I say, our new merch will be available, but TeePublic does have a sale on for the next 24 hours. So if you wanted one of our other bits, then might be worth jumping on. But, quickly, like I say, can't wait to get this new T-shirt out, and I hope you all really, really love it.
Funky, man. Funky
Big
chicken.
shout outs to all our Patreons. If you want to help us out and become a Patreon yourself, you know what to do. You can go over to www.patreon.com/never straight-answer, or you can go to Buy Me a Coffee at buymeacoffee/NASApod. What's that?
Give me a coffee. I want a coffee now.
Well, thank you to our patrons. We couldn't do this without you. And
Yes.
You
We appreciate
show
it
us
so
support.
much.
Big J, Swoosh, and anyone else who's supported us in one way or another. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I think that's
definitely.
pretty much it. We're available on all podcast platforms, wherever you get your podcast. We're also available on YouTube, where we're getting a nice little subscribership.
We are,
so
aren't we?
if you
Yeah,
don't, if you have checked us out on there, make sure you subscribe, because it says that more people listen than they do subscribe. So
Subscribe, it won't harm you.
I know, what's it going to kill you? Anyway, thanks for listening to this far into the show. We'll be back next week with another episode. We've got some really cool topics coming up and some great guests coming up as well.
Yes,
so stick around and make sure you join us for those. Other than that, that's the show. We'll catch you next time. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.